again, that's number 8, Calvin Kett. Up next with Sahil Bardwaj, please come forward. Sahil is in his 3rd year and will be graduating from the Sport and Recreation Management program. Sahil also spent 2 seasons with our men's soccer program. Wish you the best of luck, Sahil. Congratulations. That's number 2, Sahil Bardwaj. Our next graduating athlete is Zach Walls. Zach is in his 5th year as a middle, has graduated from the Protection Security Investigation program and will be graduating from the Police Foundation's program in the spring. We wish you the best of luck on your journey, Zach. One more time for number 9, Zach Walls. Up next, would Cale Wilkinson come forward to be recognized? Cale is in his 4th year with the team and has graduated from Protection, Security, and Investigation and Police Foundation programs, and is also on track to graduate from the Community and Justice Services program as well. Cale was named the OCAA All-Rookie Team and was named a CCAA All-Canadian along with the OCAA West Player of the Year 1 season. Cale is currently the career kills leader at St. Clair College. Congratulations and best of luck, Cale. One more time for number 18, Cale Wilkinson. And last but not least, Nick Kwiatkowski. Nick is in his 5th year at the Saints and is graduating from the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Nick was named an OCAA 2nd Team All-Star once in his career. Nick is also the career assist leader at St. Clair College. Congratulations on a great career, Nick. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. One more time, that's number 12, Nick Kwiatkowski. And once again, congratulations to all of our graduating St. Clair College athletes. As well, a huge shout out to the Sheridan Bruins for your patience during our ceremonies. It is greatly appreciated. Now, at this time, if you could please rise and remove your caps, to welcome St. Clair College music theater students Ava, Olivia, and Mia to lead us in the playing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Oh, Canada, Live from Windsor, Ontario, it's senior day at the Sportsplex as the 6-6 St. Clair Saints are hosting the 2-10 Sheridan Bruins. My name's Hudson Hine. Thank you guys for joining us on this Sunday afternoon to watch some OCAA men's volleyball. It's going to be the last home game at the Sportsplex for the St. Clair Saints this season, unless they can find a way to climb up in the standings into those top 4 teams in the Western Division. We're going to get to those standings very quickly, but first, we're going to look at the starting lineups for both of the teams. Kicking things off for the Sheridan Bruins roster, Cohen Reimer, Zach Ludwig, Vito Forte, Colin Fielding, Govin Kennedy, Daniel Sass, and Jason Tran are going to be rounding out your starters. And over to the St. Clair side, we're going to see a lot of starters who are seniors, getting their chance to prove themselves in a pretty big game. I mean, Saints dropped one to the Bruins earlier on in the season. So Bardwaj, River Ruiz, Calvin Kett, Zach Walls, Nick Kwiatkowski, Kale Wilkinson, and Jonas Sertosi. So Saints have kind of been in this uphill battle all season long to try to get to 500. Looking at some of the numbers, 6-6, that's the best record that they've had all year long. Started off very rocky, but finding themselves towards the back end of the year. If there's any time to get hot, now's the time. Offense, one of the better ones in the league, but they play a very high risk, high reward. When I talked to Coach Sean Rion before the game, he had mentioned that, you know what, they're going to live and die by that kind of play style, and that's just who they are. From the service line, especially when they're attacking, they play very high risk, high reward, and that's not going to change. So what are we going to see from the Saints roster today? I mean, there's a lot of question marks on if they're going to let the last time that these two teams affect them. That's all going to unfold for you in just a moment. So Saints have 3 road games to finish off the season after this one, so still a lot of pieces to be used in the standings to play out the rest of the season. It's going to be Kwiatkowski to serve and get this thing kicked off for the final home game of the regular season. This could be the last time that some of these players play in a Saints uniform in this building. Let's make it count. Return by the Bruins. Wilkinson able to keep that alive. Good chance for the Bruins. And sending it home right away. That's Daniel Sass. Sheridan strikes first, and you can see, I believe that was Kett coming over to try to help, but he vacated his side of the floor. Kwiatkowski sets Wilkinson with force. Knotted up at 1 now. A little bit of a messy first point for the Saints. They redeemed themselves on the second. Right back to the mess. Saints from the service line have definitely struggled. At least more than they'd like to. Nobody wants any errors. But for as many as the Saints have had this season, you begin to ask some questions. At the service line now is Forte. Kwiatkowski sends up Bardwaj. Just getting it over. Here's going to be an opportunity for the Saints. Walls, the quick hit. That's Walls' game. Very quick and straight to it volleyball. And he'll go to the free throw line. Oh, the service line. My apologies, not basketball. That one went a little bit too long. Daniel Sass is going to serve now. Nice little curve on there by Sass. Barwaj grabs the tool. Barwaj with force. Known more as a service specialist on this team, but we know he can contribute offense. Definitely has the frame and the size to help out. Gets used more as a utility player, and he does that very well. One of the best in the team from the service line. That ball sails long. Back and forth we go in the points, and a lot of them is because of St. Clair's service errors. And, you know, that's been a theme, not even just this season, but last season as well. We noticed it a lot. Back half of the year, it's kind of the fall off of the Saints. Kwiatkowski. Cat. I don't think he needs to touch that one, and it's going to be Sheridan point. I was wrong. Ket was in this kind of decisive state that I was in too. Ket getting up there, good shot. But overall just better defense there by Gavin Kennedy. Back into the net, Saints will take that all day. Bruins lead is 1. So here's Barwaj, as we mentioned, great from the service line for the Saints. Set behind, finding the seam. Cohen Reimer. Getting up there with good accuracy to get around Wilkinson. Jason Tran, coach has said to watch out for him today. Good serve, and that's going to go down as an ace. Saints' backs are kind of against the wall already. Feels like all the momentum's with Sheridan right now. And Reese. They didn't anticipate such a harsh curve. And that one just goes a little bit long. Good eyes. Calvin Kett in the back row. So the Sheridan run comes to an end, but a lot of damage done. Joseph Tosi now at the service line. Try to undo a little bit of that damage. To the outside, blocked. Walls grabs the tool. So Jonas Satosi is going to stay at the service line. If you missed it before this, St. Clair Saints women's team on senior day took down the men's team 3-0 to close out the women's season, as that serve by Satosi goes long. Saints women's team 12-1 now. It's also 12 consecutive as they dropped their first one of the year and went on to win 12. So they'll be looking to host a couple of home games. Saints men's team trying to do something similar. Oh, Wilkinson. Oh, that one into the 9th row. So Saints answering whenever Sheridan has a message. Here's Kwiatkowski now. Good pickup along the outside line. Sheridan bench erupts because Daniel Sass, first-year player out of Mississauga, with force and accuracy. He's going to bring Ludwig to the stripe. Light touch. Set to Walls. Smacking it home, Zach Walls. See the set right where Walls likes to have it. Just wondering when Sheridan's going to kind of start to telegraph. That move right through the hands of Gavin Kennedy. Saints catch a break there. Wilkinson at the service line. Set, really tough angle. Can't get it over. The set was just a little bit too far to the outside. And it's almost impossible to return it from that angle. So Saints in front now. For the first time since it was 2-1 Saints. Smacking it out of bounds. Sheridan ties it back up. Vito Forte. Kodakowski says Baharwaj. Outside, this Tran. Setting up, Cat on the floor. Here's a free ball for the Saints. Kodakowski, Cat again, gets the tool. Saints back in front. Cat, a roster piece that was a starter at the start of the year, and then progressively, coach had to make some decisions and felt like some players were playing better. And I'm not saying that Cat didn't play good, it was just some players came in with this level of intensity. So out of bounds that serve goes. Seems to be a tight race early on in this first set. Kodakowski, Baharwaj. Oh, light touch, impressive. Tran. Kodakowski, Baharwaj is going to try at it again. It's still alive. This one has to go. Set outside. Smashing it home is Colin Fielding. Bruins take the lead. See there, the shallow set. This is going to bring Daniel Sass to the line. Kodakowski. Satoshi, 2. Not on the same page. Satoshi definitely jumped a little bit early. Yeah, way too early. Sass to serve again, Ruiz. Gonna see if they can get it right this time. The little push by Satoshi kind of ended up working. No, that one sails far. Saints and the 3-0 run by the Bruins. This game means a lot to these seniors. As once again, if they don't earn themselves a top 4 spot in those playoffs, this could be their final game of the Sportsplex. Sets it back. Rejected by Baharwaj. That was Forte trying to go up and deflect it over. Baharwaj with the strong hands. Cat now. Goes long. Service error. We're going to need to see those numbers by the Saints. Serving now is Reimer. Into the net. So exchanging service errors. Helps the Saints knot this one back up. Back into the net. A little bit of back and forward we go. Let's see who can land it inside the field of play first. Jason Tran with an ace already. Almost gets another one too. Beautiful serve. Back for Cat. Cat Tough angle. Set to the outside. Forte, and it's blocked off the face of Tran. Kwiatkowski sets Sertosi, and they're saying that made it over. Wide for Wilkinson, and that one goes off the face. Who can do their best Scott Sterling impression? Some impressive defense. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that one went over right there. That one seems wide, but they're saying that it was touched by a Saints player. Referee's going to stick with the initial call, saying that that went out. Maybe we can see that on the replay. Was it touched by Walls up front? Most of the Sheridan team seems to think it did. Except by Ludwig. Ket keeps it alive. Kwiatkowski wide for Wilkinson. Nice touch. Getting up there and extending the Saints lead to 2. That's Wilkinson getting way up there. Former MVP of the league. Sertosi send it to the Sheridan bench. Fielding. So service errors have helped both teams a lot. Again, we're going to need to see that stat sheet. This is a very young Sheridan team, so still a lot to learn. And then, oh, that's an ace. Never mind. Nick Kwiatkowski kills the narrative. Watch this, a little curve. Oh yeah, that's a thing of beauty. Oh my goodness, he does it again. Two back-to-back beautiful serves. Timeout called by the Bruins. Nick Kwiatkowski has had it with the service errors. 20-16 is your score. I want to thank all of the seniors. Jonas Sertosi, very, very core piece. Hugging it out with Coach Sean Rio. As once again, this could be all of these guys' final game. Essentially format the Sportsplex. Calvin Ket bringing their families into the picture as well. Celebrate these games with their loved ones. So Barwaj, very strong player. We've seen some great plays by him so far in this game. Love seeing all of these families come out to support their kids, graduating absolutely outstanding players like the one you're seeing right now. Zach Walls, we call his name a lot more. Kale Wilkinson. First team All-Star. Nick Kwiatkowski, also another first team All-Star. And he's serving right now after his back-to-back aces. Walls, as we mentioned, good serve by Kwiatkowski, and Wall sends it back. Looking to keep the serving streak going. A run here for the Saints. Lightly handled outside, blocked. Forte went up, but Ket went even higher. Strong hands. This is going to keep Kwiatkowski's streak at the line going. Kwiatkowski. Blocked. Ket and Forte jousting for it, and that one's not going to make it over. So, unforced error by the Bruins there. Actually, we would call that a forced one. Ket helped with a little bit of the joust, but that one was never coming back over. Tough angle. So Saints have a chance to force the first set point of the game. Kwiatkowski still at the line. Good serve. Tran picks it up. Blocked. Gonna try it again. Oh, and Wilkinson didn't get up quick enough. Daniel Sass knew exactly what he was doing. So the block, and then they try it again, but a little bit late on the jump. Kwiatkowski for Wilkinson. Slams it home, and that's going to force the first set point. Wilkinson's earned himself a trip to the stripe. Good serve. Tough handle. Kwiatkowski. Gonna get it to Bharwaj. Rolls the line. And again, Sass in the right spot, but they're gonna call that St. Clair's point. And there's gonna be a discussion. Check here on the replay. And are they saying I don't see necessarily a violation. Oh, wait. Yeah, wait. Oh. Saying the violation. So the argument for Sheridan is that it happened after the point was already down. You can't really do that. But referee staying with the call. So saying that he went under the net, or at least too far. Let the replay, let you guys be the judges at home. We're gonna step aside for a quick break in between sets. We'll be right back. All about the students today, especially the ones on the floor for the Saints. They had an impressive back half of that first set. A lot of service errors back and forth, but that's not to say that there wasn't some great defense all being played in between those. I think both sides have a lot to be proud of. Sheridan kind of just lost traction in that back half of the set. They looked really good early on. Especially a little bit at the end, we saw a couple of really good plays by Daniel Sass. Very smart player. He's only in his first year. Another thing I'd like to note is that when I talk to the coach before the game, there's a lot of people who are from abroad. They're not from the GTA at all. So it's kind of hard because it's like a relationship that you got to tend to. A lot of people have to go home. A lot of changes in the organization. It's like you don't even know if you're going to be seeing the same coaching staff or the same players if you go home for a bit. So I think that's another reason. It costs a lot, not only financially sometimes, but also toll on your team to recruit so well, if that makes any sense. There's Coach Sean Riom. We'll get to him in a second. I'm sure some of you guys have heard the news that this might be his last game as the head coach of the St. Clair Saints at the Sportsplex. So to kick things off in the second set, Sheridan's going to serve. Ket, light floater. That one sails just long. Saints come away with the first point of the second set. Here's Kwiatkowski. Good serve. Tran picks it up. Ludwig. Back outside. Blocked. I think that was Ket or Walls that put a hand on it. Nonetheless, 2-0 for the Saints. Kwiatkowski did a very good job staying clean on the service errors in that first set. Had 2 aces, no errors. High ball. Not too much of a chance to create offense for the Bruins. Kwiatkowski sets well. Oh, the fake. That was so close to a very well executed play. Had everybody jumping. And the bench loving to see that. 2 very high jumpers with Walls and Harwaj. That would have been an easy point. Harwaj could have got to that ball maybe just a little bit earlier. That's the price you pay for deception, though. Forte with a great serve. Vito Forte. Knots this one up at 2. That one lands wide. So 1 good, 1 bad. We got a service error counter up on the screen. Total in the game, make that 7 now. That one's gonna land on the inside. Saints gonna come over with that point. A very important set for both teams here. A huge swing. Oh. Cale Wilkinson, very generous. Nicely gives the ball back to Sheridan. He felt bad. Barwaj. Kwiatkowski sets up Ket. Light touch, almost touches the net. So close. Ruiz on the floor, good play. Barwaj now. Too strong for the outstretched hand of Vito Forte. Here's Walls now to serve. Good looking serve. Packing it back with force. Cohen Reimer. Cohen Reimer in the right place at the right time. Puts that one away. 5-4 in favor of the hometown Saints. Ruiz, Kwiatkowski, Sartosi, good diving play there by Forte. Here's Tran. Good back and forth action we go. Barwaj Lightly touch, trans all over it. Here's Ludwig. Ludwig sets it a little far back, Reimer. Now here's Wilkinson. Cat. Oh, another good play by Reimer. Ludwig sets up Tran. Ruiz is on it. Back and forward we go. Wilkinson tries to put it away, but a block. Strong hands, Colin fielding. Great reaction there by the Sheridan bench, and that's what you like to see. That's some good volleyball. Offense and defense. Wilkinson known for putting those away. But Sheridan, they know his game. Kwiatkowski, Barwaj. And another block. Back-to-back blocks by Colin Fielding. Bruins starting to lock in defensively. Oh, I don't know if he might have got two hands on that. Did it go off one and then the other? Oh, there's an argument there. No reaction from the bench. That ball sails long. If there's any way to kill your momentum, it's an error that you don't want to force after taking the lead. Ket's going to be at the service stripe. This point to break the tie. Oh, good serve. Ludwig. Oh, and finding the back left seam. Wow. Cohen Reimer. Let's see that one on the replay. That's really far away and just so accurate. Textbook, right where you want to put it. Outstanding play by the second-year player out of Vineland. Kwiatkowski. Barwaj. Oh my goodness. Barwaj gets the job done with force, unable to handle that. I believe it was Tran in the back line. Yeah. Blink and you might miss it. Here's Barwaj now to serve. Ludwig. Set wide. Ket keeps it alive. Here's Wilkinson. Gonna bring a free ball. Bruins now. I don't know if that did get blocked by Wilkinson. And Sartosi comes up with the block himself. Saints bench erupts after that block. Barwaj. Long stretch. Saved. Kennedy's just going to have to send it over. Sartosi blocked. Barwaj is there. Back for Kent. Long range. Oh, and off the floor, Kennedy. Ludwig. Tran, and that's going to be a... I believe it's going to be a lift. Oh, no, they're going to call a... It's going to be a violation on the back line. Got a little bit too jumpy. So now, Barwaj. Lightly touched, and Barwaj earns himself an ace. Now the service error woes have not gone away, but they definitely cleaned up a little bit. Another good serve. Sartosi, initial block. Oh, and Kwiatkowski, high IQ play there. Ludwig, lightly touched. Wilkinson, that touches the back line. I think that did. There was a reaction though. Sheridan gonna have to call a timeout. So a good job keeping it alive is Reimer. Not sure if this is a little bit of a bias, but Yeah, that one definitely lands in. Sends the Sheridan team scrambling. Let's look at some of the numbers after the first set. Errors, service errors is a very common theme. 9 of those in the first set by the St. Clair Saints. Four for the Sheridan Bruins. But I mean, it comes down to a point. Where can the defense make up for that? Because so far, that's had to carry them. Whether it's blocking or just flat out digs. Being a volleyball statistician must be the hardest thing. I've never done it. But to be a volleyball statistician and just be following every single aspect of the game and having to write things down and get the exact numbers, I mean, credit to the officials and the statisticians, because this sport's hard. And the players as well. Ludwig. Oh, picked up by Barwaj. Oh, back row, that's Tran. A little bit of ping pong action. Here's Wilkinson. Nobody's home in the back left corner. Extends the lead to 5. So out of the timeout, St. Clair comes away with the first point. Already up 1-0. Once again, this set, crucial. Oh! I don't know. I think that might have clipped the line. Slow that down. Oh, that's like, I think that might be over. Oh, that's so close. Because you can't really see from that, the overhead angle. Nonetheless, the point is returned. Now 17 service errors total. And we're at about the halfway point, or just under it, of the second set. Ad serve was a little bit too hard to handle. Fires back into the net. Zach Ludwig, he's going to get a chance. To help build on some of these mistakes that St. Clair is making, you can turn this into momentum, and they know it. Oh, good serve. Wilkinson now. That one's into the scores box. Almost took out several people in the booth. Was the outside hitters for the Bruins. Nick Wedikowski now. Ludwig. Reimer. And I think that landed out of bounds. Good job not touching it. That was Kennedy. Block just falls on the outside line. This is Connor Thompson checking into the game for the first time. Kwiatkowski sets up Cat, and out of the outstretched reach of Sahil Barwad. Connor Thompson now. Right into the net. I was going to mention something about the walk-up he does. Interesting. Here's Wilkinson. Back and forth we go. What's that one DJ Khaled saying? Another one. Daniel Sass now to try to break it. Barwaj. Oh, diving to try to make a play. Just the outstretched reach. Thompson. Barwaj proving he can add to this offense, especially from the outside hitter position. Connor Thompson trying to do everything he could. Fifth-year player out of Oakville. Oldest player on the team. Not by age, but by experience listed. Tran just to send that one. Oh, clips the top of the net. Ends up going towards the Bruins. A much-needed point. Checking into the game now, Miles Hampson, second year out of Hamilton. Ruiz, Kwiatkowski, and just outside of the reach, or the range, that's what Tosi wanted. Sheridan, coming back now. The lead's down to 3, was as big as 7 in this set. Nice serve. Ket. Free chance here. Tran grabs the tool. That one looked pretty intentional. Tran knew exactly what he was doing, earns his team a point. Those are the high IQ plays. Here's Hampson now. Barwaj. Off the fingertips, I believe up front. Colin Fielding. Saints break the run, but a lot of damage, especially to their lead. Sheridan not going away here in the second set. Here's Calvin Ket. As we inch closer and closer to the end of this second set. Free ball for the Saints. Oh, Wilkinson mistimes the jump, or at least the hit on it. Sends out one long. So a very important point goes towards Sheridan. This also is a very big point coming up. Sails out one long, just past the back left corner. So Saints lead goes back. To 3. Barwaj now. Ludwig. Strong touch. Ket keeps it alive. Saints might have got away with touching the net there. But a high effort play. Kwiatkowski went burning into the net. The lead's 4. Ket outstretched. And then you see bailing into the net there. It's Kwiatkowski. Oh, and an ace! Barwaj doing what he does best. That's being consistent from the service strike. Ludwig. Satoshi! Too tall. Out of the outstretched hands. Are just too high for Colin Fieldman to jump with him. Steel barrage. And another ace. That one a little bit luckier than last. He'll tell you it was planned. This is to force a set point. Oh, and into the net. Did he try to do the same thing he did last time? I don't know. Or just barely stayed short. So the lead 6. Colin Fielding now at the service stripe. They're going to need a little run right here. They want to knot this thing up at 1. Oh, good serve, and that's going to go down as an ace. Fielding looking to replicate what he just did. Kwiatkowski. Smart play. Something hit the net. Could have been the ball, but Satoshi doesn't get the hand he wants on that. Good play by Sass at the line, as well as Fielding getting in there. Oh, that's Ludwig shoving it over. Okay. First year out of Flamborough. Barwaj. Wilkinson, light touch. And not Barwaj, before it even gets near him, says, I'm not touching that. That was a good play by Reimer to keep it alive. So Tosi has a chance to end it. Set point, St. Clair. Good serve, powerful. Over to Reimer, and it lands inside. Reimer. With a lot of good contact. Here's Ludwig. Wilkinson. Kwiatkowski to put it away. Oh, off the head of Sass. And that's going to be it. 25-20. Final score of the second set. Saints take a 2-0 lead here at home on Senior Day. Don't go anywhere. We have more volleyball for you. Presented to you by We Digital.
Shot my brother, now I don't know who to trust. My heart be so broke that we been shooting at the bus. Don't say play it patient, nah, dog, I'm in a rush, I'm trying to book, ayy. I'm trying to shoot, trying to clutch, ayy. I'm trying to add them to the list like a deluxe, ayy. I'm trying to watch the windshield fall from off his truck, ayy. I'm trying to smack his twin, show him it went love.
Second set highlight. Second set highlights for you. It would have been a little bit of a back and forth game in certain numbers. Like, I mean, obviously the story that we've been talking about has been the service errors by both teams. But a lot of really strong hands coming up to block, especially on the digs. I think that's definitely been, I mean, when I talked to Coach Liam Buttright before the game, he said that making sure they can defend on those strikes by players like Wilkinson, Tosi, and Walls are going to be the key. If they can make sure that they can defend easily know that they have the capability to send it back and put it in the spots that they want it. But it's just these forced errors have been what's keeping them behind. So when I had talked to Coach Sean Rion before the game, he had mentioned that this is his final season as the coach of the St. Clair Saints. He has 2 kids at home. He wants to spend a lot more time with them than spending this much time with a team that he still wants to keep in touch with. He loves all of the guys he plays with. And he said that today is all about them. He doesn't want any of the attraction to be on him. So we want to thank Coach Sean Rion for everything that he's done for this program. The team loves him, the fans love him. And obviously, this is kind of like a little bit of a second family to him. He says he wants to stay around. He says he wants to be involved in this team specifically, not just volleyball, but this team specifically. So once again, a big thank you to Coach Sean Rion. They still got a lot of season left. Barring some of the craziest stuff ever, they will make the playoffs. And that's been thanks to these late season heroics by this entire team. It looks like Coach Sean Rion has gotten the people together. So a win right here would be huge, and who knows, maybe we could see another game at the Sportsplex this season from this men's volleyball team. It's going to take a win out, and then it's going to take some help in the standings. Maybe we could put the standings up one more time a little bit later at a timeout. Yeah, we'll get that. So we'll talk about that maybe at a timeout to go over what the Saints would need to host a home playoff game. So what happens is it's going to be the 4 top teams out of the West will host the 4 bottom teams out of the East. Same thing vice versa. And they alternate between the years on who's going to host it. So one year the East hosts it, and then the next year the West hosts the Final 4. And they alternate between the men's and the women's. So this season it's going to be the West hosting the Final 4 for the men's, and for the women's, it's going to be the East. Knotted up at 1 at the start of the 3rd set. Saints could end it here, and if the Bruins want this one to keep going, they're going to need it to go the distance. Oh, good improvisation by Sass. Barwaj now. Strong touch, Tran's on it. Free ball chance for the Saints. Ket, Kwiatkowski, Sartosi. Soft touch. Ruiz is on it. Sartosi sets, here's Barwaj. Scrambling, and coach gets himself involved. That doesn't count, you don't play here anymore. Got some of the numbers after the second set. We'll get to those very shortly. Kel Wilkinson, 8 kills so far alone. And blocked by Ket. Coach loves to see that. Here's Wilkinson. Oh, another light serve. It's not been his night from the service line. That's his 4th service error. He's got an ace, though. Forte. Wilkinson, someone's got to go get it. I'm not sure if they thought Casper the Ghost was going to go get that one or somebody. But Wilkinson can't touch that one again. So now at the stripe, that's Vito Forte. As we're knotted up at 3. Light touch. Makes it over. Barwaj blocked. Ruiz is on it. Kwiatkowski, Barwaj again! Beautiful strike by Sahil Barwaj. Saints up by 1. Here's Satosi. Ludwig sends it wide for Tran. Tough angle. Keeps it alive. Walls! Back at it. We didn't see much of him in the second set. That's beautiful. That was a beautiful set. And that speaks chemistry, and that's what they need. That's what got them last year as the 8th seed to go into Georgian and beat them as the 1 seed. That chemistry that they end up having. What held them back all season and put them in the 8th seed? Errors. They were #1 in service errors and top 5 in total errors in the entire OCAA. Kwiatkowski, Walls, does what he does best. The quick fire. Conestoga came here last week, or actually not even last week, that was like Thursday, I believe. So it was a couple days ago where the men's and women's team won in straight sets. The women's team won in straight sets today, and so far the Saints are up 2-0. Here's Barwaj. Oh, finds an open crevice in the floor. They're up 3. So we could go the whole week right now without St. Clair losing a set, men's or women's. Tran keeps it alive. Oh, and that went to the side of the antenna. Point's gonna go to St. Clair. Cat now. Tran, strong hands. He's gonna get a chance here. Blocked by Walls, I believe. Lead's been extended to 5. Kelvin Kett feeling really comfortable at the stripe now. Coach Butchright gonna try to ice him. 9-4 is the score here in the 3rd set. Saints get a chance to put it away. Looking at some of the numbers after the 2nd set, 25-20. Saints dominating on the offensive side, but service errors, as mentioned before, is what held them back last year. 15 of them. You're not going to win a game like that. Sheridan, though, keeping up, especially with the digs. They've made it a priority to make sure that they bend and don't break. Saints, though, with a chance to break. So as mentioned before, we're going to look at the standings now. So they would have to finish in the top 4 to host a home playoff game. There's like a 3-way tie right now between those top 3 teams, Cambrian, Humber, and Fanshawe. But Mohawk is the one that the Saints are chasing. 7-4 on a 3-game win streak in Conestoga. Saints beat them, which is a huge win in terms of standings. Now, don't discount Redeemer and Niagara. It's looking right now, I don't think Sheridan, I think they have 3 games left. I don't think they can catch Redeemer, Niagara, or St. Clair. So it's going to be the bottom 4 teams, or it's going to be starting at Redeemer right now. It would be the bottom 4 teams between Conestoga and Redeemer that would have to go on the road to the east, and the top 4 teams between Cambrian and Mohawk would be able to host home playoff games. So it's getting very tight in a much-needed win spot for the Saints. Blocked by Walls, and that falls out of bounds. So out of the timeout, coach calling the right plays because his team looks a little bit different. Speaking of looking a little bit different, the Bruins were able to beat the Saints 3-2, one of their only 2 wins of the season, very early on in the season, and you can definitely tell this is a complete different team than what you saw earlier. Barwaj. And that hit the net. I believe that might have been Ludwig. That came in a little bit too bouncy. St. Clair gets the point. Barwaj. Oh, good serve. Wide. That's Forte. Ket's on it. Kwiatkowski, barrage! Misses the ball. A little bit of a mistiming on that jump. Sheridan's gonna take that all day. Jason Tran out of North York. But Wilkinson sends that one far. Tran at the line again. Kwiatkowski. Wilkinson sends that one back. Here's Walls. Oh. Ludwig. Sending that one too far. Saints lead is extended to 5. Walls is now at the service stripe. Seeing a lot of families sitting together right now, here to cheer on the seniors, who sometimes they don't get to see often, and that's an ace for Walls. But sometimes I speak to the parents and they mention that they don't get to see all of the games, or at least get to go to them in person, and that's what We Digital tries to do, is try to make it possible for you guys to see these games, because you know how important it is. Reimer hits it over. There's Wilkinson. They're going to call a violation. Too far up in the back row. Oh no, it was Wilkinson actually. Okay. Wilkinson touched the net. A little bit of a late call, but yeah, he did. Here's Fielding. Oh, what a serve. Oh, that thing has some heat on it. That's textbook right there. That's textbook right there. Fielding. No. Had the right depth, not the accuracy that time. Back-to-back serves, though. Really good in the depth category. Kwiatkowski now. Having a great game from the service stripe. He's got himself 2 aces, no errors. Ludwig. Forte, unable to get that one past the net. Kwiatkowski. Oh, nice touch by Sass. Ket. There's Ludwig. Strong hands. And that point is gonna go. I want to see that replay. Hard angle to see from my vantage point exactly who got the hand on it. So it lands on the interior. Seemed like it just skimmed down the hands of Ket. Ruiz. Up for Wilkinson, light touch, trying to get the pancake. Was Kennedy, unable to. Saints itching closer and closer to being above 500. Last game, it was the quest to reach 500, and now it's to be above 500. The first time this season. Wilkinson gets it over off Tran. Kennedy's got it. Reimer, it's alive. Ruiz has it. Ket. Oh! The little flick over the top on a play that looked like it couldn't have been anything. It turned it into something. Watch this. Oh my goodness. The light touch by Ket. And no one's home. Ludwig sets it long. Reimer didn't get the hand that he wanted to get on that. And a timeout needing to be called by Sheridan. They want to see how long they can keep this game going. They need to go the distance. It's 18-11. We're going to step aside for about a minute. Oh. But before that, we want to remind you guys that Wednesday, February 4th, we have OCAA basketball. So the season isn't done for all athletics at the Sportsplex because the Fanshawe Falcons will be coming in and the men's and women's team will be playing at 6 and 8 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. We Digital's got you covered. And that'll be on the St. Clair Saints YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to that, or you can follow us on Instagram at We Digital to get all of the updates about upcoming events. So we'll step aside, back in a minute. Back out of the timeout. Here's Wilkinson. That's far for Kennedy. Oh, and a joust, but a net violation up against the Saints. I think that might have gone against Sotosi. Forte is going to come into the game. Connor Thompson is going to come in. Kwiatkowski sets it for Barwaj. Good hands by Thompson, and underneath the net. Saints come away with the point. If you were watching, I believe it was Thursday, the student section for the Saints got kicked out of the game. A couple of choice words for the referees. Some controversy. But it's good to see the student section back today supporting their seniors. There's Tran. Tran's going to give it another go. Sit back, that's Reimer. Spots it, fires it. Point Bruins. Daniel Sass. Ruiz has it. Back for Ket. Off the fingertips. Diving on the floor, that's Thompson. Tran's going to give the Saints a free ball. Barwaj. Barwaj has another chance. They're going to give a free ball back the other way. See what Sheridan can do with it. Ludwig. On the floor. That's Wilkinson. Barwaj. Tough angle. Oh, and Tran. Able to put the ball where he wanted. Out of bounds on their side, though. Very fortunate are the Bruins. That's Walls getting up. Both teams looked pretty exhausted. A lot of movement on that rally. Oh, they tried to get it to Walls. On the same page, but the execution slightly off. So Sheridan starting to climb back into this one. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that Coach Sean Rio calls a timeout maybe. To try to kill this Bruins momentum. Sass skims the net. Kwiatkowski. Off the inside of the hands of Fielding. Saints break the Bruins 3-0 run. There's Cat. Wide. Cat picks his 4th service error of the game. Miles Hampson, he'll come in. Service specialist for the Bruins. Kwiatkowski gets it to Walls, and they finally execute the play that they were trying to do earlier. Grows the lead back to 5. Saints itching closer and closer. Hampson's going to come back out, and that'll bring Reimer back into the game. Ludwig. Oh, diving on the floor, Ruiz. Here's Wilkinson. Oh. And he had Kennedy in kind of like a dead zone situation. Wow, what a play by Ruiz. Wilkinson kind of gives him a dead zone. Oh, that goes off his face. I didn't even see that part. I thought it was just dead zone. I thought it was just in between. Blocked by the Saints. I think that was Walls that got his hand on that. Saints with a chance to force a match point here. They're up by 7. A win here would propel them to 7-6 on the season. Barwaj. That's exactly who they wanted the service strike. Oh, and he sent it long. I spoke too soon. Announcers at Jinx do exist, and that's proof of it. So Jason Tran's gonna get a chance. Sheridan's gonna need him to start a little bit of a streak here. They want to keep this game going. Into the net. He threw that ball way too high there. Here's Walls with a chance to send the hometown team to bed with a win. Ludwig. Set wide. Barwaj. Blocked. It's still alive. Kennedy keeps it up. Cat. Kwiatkowski. There's Wilkinson. Puts it away. And the bench storms the court. Saints are above 500. And smiles all around for what could be Coach Sean Riom's final game at home as the Saints head coach, and the final game for some of these players. We want to thank everybody for joining us on the broadcast today. Hope to see you guys on February 4th when Fanshawe comes to visit town for some OCAA men's and women's basketball. That's going to be on at 6 and 8 p.m. You're not going to want to miss it. Remember, Wednesday, February 4th. Once again, thank you guys all for joining. My name's Hudson Hyde alongside the We Digital crew. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.